Federal government is on the verge of a shutdown just days before Christmas. A bipartisan deal to keep the lights on, programs running, and employees paid through mid-March collapsed within hours on Wednesday after President-elect Trump came out against it at the 11th hour. And this followed dozens of social media posts by billionaire ally Elon Musk and growing opposition within the Republican ranks, particularly in the House. The spending package would have, among other things, provided $100 billion in hurricane aid and money for FEMA, covered the cost of rebuilding the collapsed Key Bridge in Baltimore, and set aside billions of dollars in economic assistance for farmers. So the question, what now? And NewsNation correspondent Joe Khalil is live for us on Capitol Hill seeking answers. Joe, a lot of questions when it comes to Trump and Musk, their relationship, and who's exactly in charge here.
That's exactly right. You pinpointed one of the key issues here of frustration. And frankly, we're hearing that from both sides. But right now, there is just a lot of uncertainty about where this goes or how this is all going to end. What we do know is that the government will shut down tomorrow at midnight unless Congress extends government funding into the new year. We know Speaker Mike Johnson basically last night and this morning, starting from scratch along with his leadership team after the bill they negotiated to avoid a government shutdown with Democrats, basically blew up yesterday. It sort of crashed and burned simply because after it was released, this was a 1,500-page bill. There were a lot of Republicans that objected to the fact that there was more spending in there than they had expected. And some of that spending was for things that were generally popular, things as you see here, like hurricane relief for victims. There's widespread support for that, $30 billion for farming assistance. But there was a lot more in there that there was objection to, one being a raise for members of Congress. There were certainly other things, again, Republicans didn't expect to be attached to this package. And even those items that are popular, Republicans don't necessarily want to be added to this government funding bill. So there was a lot there. What observers and even members of Congress noticed, even on the Republican side, is the influence of Elon Musk in sort of killing that first version of the bill. There was opposition before he weighed in, but after he took to X and basically went on a tirade slamming this piece of legislation, you saw a flood of more Republicans coming forward, agreeing with Musk, saying they were not going to support their bill. One member told us that Musk's contribution here was like adding fuel to the fire. Now, that hasn't sat well with several, especially on the Democratic side. This morning, we caught up with Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. She's crucial to this conversation because she's the top Democrat on the Appropriations Committee, which means she is the Democrat who is the chief negotiator for this bill. And she says that she liked what was in it. She said it had widespread support. It was an agreement that both sides had agreed upon until Musk weighed in. This is what she said this morning.
All of a sudden, we had an outside influence who believes, I think he is president, and that's President Musk, who is not elected, has no authority, and trying to really upend what the services are to the American people.
Now, we posed the same question to Congressman Jim Jordan, obviously a very influential Republican member here in the House. This is what he told us on that same subject. Do you think that he's got maybe too large of an influence even over the Republican conference?
No, but I think the way you described it is probably accurate. I mean, he's an important guy and a guy that I've talked to several times, and I really appreciate what he's done to help our committee and the country on the censorship issue. But yeah, he certainly has influence. I think him and what he and Vivek are up to is good, going to be good for the country. All I know is I was against the bill, you know, when I saw it.
So here we are, effectively 36 hours away from a shutdown unless Congress acts. Just quickly at the practical consequences of a shutdown, Natasha, you can see here on your screen, these would be serious. You could potentially have workers that would be furloughed. You could potentially have workers that work for the federal government that do not get paid through the holidays until the government would reopen. That would include, by the way, active duty members of our military and the rest on your screen here. So real consequences if nothing is worked out.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.